What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Willie the Kid, and I'm back with another one, man. This is Eastwick Boxing Talk in association with Three Kings Boxing.com, and we are the movement umbrella. Shout out to everybody that's moving with us, man. Today we're going to talk about a little recap of what happened over the weekend, man. We went over this on several of our sister stations, channels, whatever you want to call it, but I had to come on and drop some shit for y'all on my own channel. You know what I'm saying? And to do that, man, I got two special guests with me. I got my boy, my brother from another mother, man. 2K, how you feeling, bro? Mr. Prodigy of boxing, how you feeling, man?
Word up, man. What's good, family? What's good, everybody? Shout out to the movement. And y'all got to excuse me. I got my baby girl in the lap with me, but this is what we do. You know what I'm saying? We get it in no matter what.
As long as you're not breastfeeding, we good.
Yo, she breastfed already earlier, man. Hopefully she ain't gonna make too much noise.
Hey, it's all good, man. Let her make noise, man. That's all her. She's just trying to give us her take. You know what I'm saying?
Word up.
and another special guest is the grandfather of all of this shit right here. I mean, he's his social security number is 1, but he's still my man. He's still my dog, man. That's my partner right here, Mr. Bo Bland from Two Facts About Boxing. How you feeling, Bo?
Man, I'm feeling like I should feel, and I'm not your brother. I'm your daddy, motherfucker. Get it right.
Hey, nigga. Hey, I'm gonna say something, right? Because my channel is not Disney rated. I'm gonna say something. Look here, brother. Look here, man. You ain't got enough meat around that thing to call you daddy, motherfucker. You gonna call me pops, even though I'm the younger one, motherfucker. Let's get that straight right now.
Motherfucker, I got your child support money right here, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, send that shit, bitch. Hey, yo, man. I want to start with Easter Jr. versus Fortuna, man. But mostly I want to concentrate on the Easter Jr. side, man. I felt like he had another very disappointing showing for himself. This is the third time around, or third or fourth fight in a row that he hasn't really looked, to my personal opinion, up to par with his height and length. Bo, how you feel about Easter Jr. and how he looked in this fight, man? And who you have winning?
I actually picked Javier Fortuna to win the fight. It was a close fight. The only thing we could look at is that last judge scorecard of what, 115, 112, and where the fuck he got that one from. But you know how, like, the best way to describe Robert Easter Jr.'s performance is you know how, or 2K, you got a daughter, right? You got a little baby. You know how you take the diaper and you put that motherfucker in the garbage, right? Now, if don't nobody take that garbage out, that motherfucker sit there, that whole area is funky, right?
Hell yeah.
That was Robert Easter's performance. Hot fucking garbage. That's what it was. That shit was trash, yo. Look, here's the thing, and I said this. It's become obvious to me he either A, needs a new trainer, or no, it ain't no second choice. He needs a new trainer, because the problem that you have is I have never in my life, okay, and I'll say it, I'm 50. I've been watching boxing since I was single digits. I've never in my life seen a motherfucker not move his head because the jab is that short. I've never seen no shit like that in my life. You got a 5-inch reach advantage and a 5-inch height advantage, and your jab, and now, mind you, before somebody say to dummy, oh, them were throwaway punches. No, motherfucker, them were not throwaway punches, because throwaway punches normally follow up. They get closer and closer, than they follow up with a punch. He was not throwing away no punches. This motherfucker don't know how to gauge distance. I've never seen a dude taller, 5'11", constantly get headlocked by a motherfucker 5'6". Why? Because he's ducking, he's jabbing, and instead of him ducking to his left, he's ducking into Fortuna's left, so low to the point Fortuna's able to grab him and hold him in a headlock. So, and it was repetitive, which goes to his IQ. It was fucking repetitive. And at no point in time did I hear the corner say, hey, you got to stop ducking to this man's left. They were saying shit like, you know, get your hands off. Okay, tell him what to do. Look, Robert, move left, move right, take a 1/2 inch step back, bounce, something. Okay, no, there was none of that happened. So he has regressed tremendously since the Comey fight, and it's starting to show. Robert Easton Jr. Man, listen, the motherfuckers are L waiting to happen. And the sad part is, he's over there in Ohio, and he kind of one of the only cats over here we hold on to in the Midwest. But shit, man, I'm damn near scared to even mention this dude because it's terrible of a performance like this from a guy that's supposed to be a professional. So pump your brakes on calling out Mikey. Pump your brakes on calling out Leonardis. Pump your brakes on calling anybody out. You want to call somebody? Call Barry Hunter. Call Virgil Hill. Call somebody that's going to help you use your height and your reach. That's what you need to do. But outside of that, no, dude. This dude.
Somebody yesterday, 2K and I actually used this analysis before, where you look at his height and shit, right? And he's an anomaly for his height at the weight that he's at. You know what I mean? You just don't see that at that weight unless it's a dude from out the country. You know what I'm saying? But somebody yesterday told me, yeah, he's kind of like Paul Williams. And I said, you know what I responded to that was, yeah, minus the skills.
Yep, that's absolutely right.
The only thing is too, he seems like he likes to fight on the inside, which pretty much negates the only the one advantage that he has. Like, you have a 5-inch height advantage and you have a almost 9-inch reach advantage over your opponent. The game plan is simple: double jab, follow with a straight, double jab, follow with a straight, step to the side, step to the side, step to the side, double jab, follow with the straight. The guy should never ever be within the distance where he can actually land a punch on you, right? He seems to lack the IQ in the ring too. But when he gets on the inside, I kind of noticed. I rewatched the fight last night, 2K, and I want your take on this, and then you could give us your opinion on it. I kind of watched the fight last night. What I noticed is he tends to smother his own fucking power on the inside. So, what you got to say about that, fam?
Yeah, hell yeah. You're absolutely right. He smothers his own punches. I mean, you're talking about a guy that had something like an 8-inch reach advantage. And, when you have that long of a reach and you're that tall, you need space. You know what I'm saying? And when you have, let's say you have, a long wingspan, right? A very long reach, and you're within the range of that reach, well, then everything becomes compact. And then the closer you get, the harder it is to get shit off. You see what I'm saying? So absolutely, he smothers the shit out of himself trying to execute a game plan that he shouldn't be fucking executing in the first place. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
I mean, it's a horrible situation. If you look at him. Oh shit! Wait, time out. We have from Colossal Boxing Talk. My man, Big Cool. What's going on, fan? How you feeling? Welcome to the show, man.
What's good, fellas? What's good? How y'all doing?
We good, man. What's up, man? You gonna send me some Twinkies or what, motherfucker?
You gonna send me some Tim boots?
Hey, you got him, bro. They in the mail. You can't fuck with me if you ain't got no Tims. You know how we New York niggas.
All right, man. All right, man.
I'm gonna go borrow some weed from Twine.
Oh shit!
Gotta get that bandana, Bo. That nose ring.
Hey, unless things change, man, there's certain people you won't see on this show, man. Hey, Big Cool, man. We talking about Robert Easter Jr. and just how horrible he looked. Why don't you give us your take on that fight, fam?
Man, disappointed, man. Me and 2K did a show on his channel, Project Box Talk, and what we just thought that it would be easy. We thought that he was aware of his mistakes. He was gonna correct them, but the nigga has no ring IQ whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? All the physical abilities in the world, but the nigga dumb. So, it don't matter what you can do physically, but if you dumb, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, fam. I think we're starting to. I think it's time for us to start to realize that maybe his abilities in the ring are very limited. You guys were spot on that. I listened to that show. That was a great breakdown by both of you, by the way.
Sure.
You guys were spot on with that. I will say this though: the only way you guys actually went out and said that because he actually came out and said it. He said, I'm gonna use my height and I'm gonna use my length, and then he turned around and did the complete opposite.
Well,
mind-boggling to me, man. I don't know, man.
Well, there's two factors that we not factoring in. Number one, it's easy to get in Easter's head. Javier Fortuna was getting in his head, so he abandoned the game plan right the fuck away. Once Javier Fortuna got in his head, he abandoned that game plan. That's number one.
I agree.
Right? And the second one is this goes back to what I was talking about, coaching. I guarantee you they don't work on him. I'm gonna say it again. There's no fucking way. I've never seen this, dog, in boxing ever, where you throw that many jabs and the dude who you throwing at don't even move his fucking head because your jab is that short from hitting him.
Wait. I'll be honest with you. Here's the thing that boggled. Like I said, I rewatched the fight. So 2K, I'm probably gonna want you to feed off of me and let me know what you feel like. In the fight, he was getting frustrated because of Fortuna's movement, right? So he was actually, certain rounds, he was actually telling him to stand there. And I'm thinking to myself while I'm watching this fight, motherfucker, you got a 9-inch, damn near 9-inch. It's 8 inches, but it's almost closer to 9-inch than it is to 8. Reach advantage on this motherfucker. He should be telling you, come on and fucking fight.
I mean, absolutely. You know what's funny about what you said? It actually plays into what I said in my video where I broke this fight down on my channel. I said that he was relegated to a fucking high-pressure fighter that needed to cut the ring off. You see what I'm saying? That's what Fortuna's movement did to him. And being relegated to that type of fight, that type of fighter that isn't his style, right? That's why he's sitting there telling the mover to stop moving. That's what guys like Ruslan Provodnikov do. John Molina Jr. do, right? If a motherfucker's moving too much, they're going to stand there and hold their hands up like, nigga, you ain't doing shit. Move, motherfucker. Why don't you stop moving and stand right in front of me so I can hit you? That's what the fuck he was relegated to. And it's sad, dog, because that should never happen to a guy with that type of physical advantage. It should never happen, dog. And it's sad. It's embarrassing. Real talk.
Exactly. Let me jump in. I don't know if y'all see the post I made at Eastwick pertaining to Emmanuel Stewart. If he was alive, he would be the perfect guy, to train.
Well, Emmanuel Stewart was perfect with tall fighters, but Emmanuel Stewart's not going to teach fighters how to fight. Bernard, welcome to the show, man.
What's good, family?
I was actually going to do a second show tonight because I wanted to get Jarrell on, but being that he's here, I guess I don't have to do a second show. So we're going to get into everything that I wanted to get into. But to me, you're right about Emmanuel Stewart. He will help him tremendously. Look what he did for Vladimir Klitschko. If Emmanuel Stewart was around right now, traded watching fucking Robert Easter Jr. Could you imagine on the inside and then going back to the corner with Stewart the way he was? Oh man, you gotta fucking, are you kidding me? Why the fuck are you standing? You guys know how Stewart was, bro.
He'd be pissed. He'd be pissed off watching Robert Easter because Manny would understand exactly what I said. I used to think Robert Easter Jr. was supposed to be at 135. I'd have been like, this dude clearly could be Tommy Hearns or Paul Williams. And he would sit there and agree. He'd probably agree with me in death. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He was probably like, yeah, hell yeah, I agree. Okay. So he would have been upset, just as upset as I was when I did the breakdown of the Fortuna fight. And he would have been like, yeah, he needs to use that. Manny would have been like, bro, because Manny was before he was a professional trainer, right? He was a well-accomplished amateur trainer. He was the guy that actually put Detroit on the map in the amateur rankings.
Yes, he did. Absolutely
Manny would have told Robert Easter Jr., let's say he didn't live in Ohio, he lived in Detroit, right? And he came out of the fucking Kronk gym as an amateur. I guarantee you guys, he would have told him, bruh, you not going pro, not with me in your corner, unless you learn how to use your motherfucking physical advantages.
Hey, 2K. What up? He probably would have been like, and you know what? And you're going to sweep this gym every day until you learn to stop fucking bending down.
Yep. Bro, you know what?
And
the gym would have smelled like pine saw, dog, because he would have been mopping all motherfucking day.
Hey, Bernard, man. Let me get Bernard's take on. Hold on. Let me get Bernard's take on the Easter Fortuna fight. You watched it, Bernard?
I saw bits and pieces of that fight.
Okay, how you feel? Based on what you saw.
I'm pissed off. Like Robert Easter keep doing the same dumb shit over and over again. It's like he gets in the ring, he starts off right, then for some reason he has a brain lapse where he decides he wants to fight in the fucking pocket. I don't know what it is, man. It's just like it's that situation where you know you don't want to use again. I'm probably gonna be repeating what everybody else has been saying, but use your height and reach advantage that you've been blessed with in this sport, but you choose not to use it. You choose to go against the grain. I don't know what it is. If in his mindset that he possibly has to prove to people that he's an exciting fighter, so that's why he must be wanting to go in the pocket instead of doing the obvious and box. Because I still believe you can still get a knockout by using your reach.
Right.
Land that right hand like you did on who was that, Comey, that almost got him the knockout in that fight when he won the belt.
I just think, man, Easter need to go back and watch the film. Watch what you said, Comey fight. You know, when he did, fight discipline behind his jab at a good distance, the damn near knockout almost came to him. But since that fight, he hadn't been close to getting a knockout. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, if he watched the film, he would say, if I be disciplined, if I use everything that I got, physical, you know what I'm saying, the advantages I have, this shit will come to him easier. But that's just being lazy, man. Mental laziness, man. He just don't want to commit to being great, man. He's trying to top Adrian Broner, being a guy who's more talented.
He almost lost
even more of a fuck up.
Dennis Shapovalov. He almost lost to Dennis Shapovalov with other than doing the same fucking thing.
You're a lazy fighter, man.
See, this what y'all not getting, man. He is watching film. Trust me, he's watching film. The boy just don't have it in his fucking head because I guarantee you they're not using it right to train this motherfucker how to use his height and his reach. If Emmanuel Stewart would have had him, he'd have had him in that basement. There's a spot in Crunk Gym, it's the basement, where they take cats down there and they beat lessons into him. And Robert Easton would visit that motherfucker frequently if he was with Emmanuel Stewart. And he wouldn't come out that bitch until he knew to use his height and his reach. So, y'all talking about some looking at tape. You ain't got to look at no tape. You in the fight, you know what you're doing wrong. You know what's not working for you. Okay? And to 2K's point, he's telling this dude, stand there, let me hit you. Casuals say that shit when they see a fighter. Oh, I don't like this dude. He bored. He moved too much. Yeah, you want a motherfucker to stand there and hit you. Well, boxing don't work like that, bro. And if you ain't learned by now to use your height and your reach and it's repetitive shit you're doing, this is repetitive now in the ring. Round after round after round that he has not progressed, he has regressed. So unless he gets a new trainer, because I believe his training, if he don't get a new trainer, dude, he's an L waiting to happen. Big time.
Paul Williams knockout away from happening, bro.
Yeah. Yup.
So what's next for him?
He need to get a new trainer, man. A new trainer.
Okay, I know that. But based on what you guys saw and him calling out all the champions, I personally say pause on that. But what do you guys say about it? Let's go with Bernard.
Well, his next one is possibly a loss if he goes against one of those champions.
You're right. 2K?
That's what next. Then from there, that'll be his learning experience. If he ain't learned from now, he's gonna probably have to take an L for him to learn.
You said what's next for him?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He I want to say what the fellas already said about a new trainer, but I just don't think that's gonna happen. It's a father-son relationship, right? And it's hard to get rid of those. It's hard to step in between those relationships, even when it's needed. You know what I mean? So, man, he should just stay mum. For you dumb motherfuckers out there, that means quiet, silence. He should just be mum on Mikey Garcia and Jorge Linares, dog. Because as far as I'm concerned, the way that he fights, there's no way in hell, no way on God's green earth, this motherfucker beats either of those two guys fighting like that, man. I'm sorry. We just seen a guy move up from 130, didn't take training camp seriously, and practically beat him. You know what I'm saying? No, bro.
Nah, this guy should have been gassed out by the end of towards the end of the fight by the championship rounds, right? And he looked like the more fresher fighter. I mean,
yeah.
No body work, no nothing, bro. just pathetic, man. If he ain't gonna get a whole new trainer, he need to bring in some outside help. Something, you know.
I could agree with that.
Yeah,
The niggas from Ohio don't learn, man. They stupid, man. So he about to be in that box with Adrian Broner. Well, we just don't give a fuck no more. And this nigga ain't took an L yet. That's the damn thing. That's a bad thing about it.
So let me ask you guys this. Let's say he gets a new trainer. Can at this point can he still be fixed? Because you know the old saying is it's hard to teach a old dog new tricks. I'm not saying he's old by age, but I'm saying he's been doing this for a while now. For a long while.
Well, I agree.
How old is he?
He's 26. I agree with what you're saying, though. You know, there's you know, some guys, the adage, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, you should say sometimes, you know, you can't teach a guy who's in his ways new tricks, because sometimes it has really nothing to do with age. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, this could be a situation where the way he's at heart, he wants to be a brawler, even though he has all the physical capabilities of being a masterclass boxer, right? So this might be a situation with him. But the thing is, we will never know until we find out after he makes that move. And at the age of 26, you know, given, you know, you know, what we know about boxers and their ability to tap into their potential, 26 is young. It's very young. I mean, he's still got more mountain to climb than he does mountain to fall down. You know what I'm saying? So he could definitely some shit to his fucking arsenal, add some shit to his style. But it's all about whether or not he's going to be disciplined enough to be able to receive that information well enough to make his style better than what it is today.
Yeah, I agree.
2K, I agree with what you're saying, but the way my man been getting beat up his last few fights, you know, he is young, but this is a hurt business. You know what I'm saying? And we just never know. Certain fights can take shit out of you, whether you're 26 or 46. So,
well, I mean, I don't think he's been getting beat up like that.
Well, I mean, you just know some of the shots that don't look, you know, as devastating are the ones that fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? And
I agree, but there's a difference. I mean, you gotta what you're saying, Big Cool, and I'm not disagreeing with you at all. But what you're saying is the type of damage guys incur or endure over a certain amount of time. You know, you're talking about fighters like Ruslan Provodnikov, bro. Like, he's not getting beat up like that. And so, yeah, I don't think he's mentally damaged to that effect yet. You know what I mean? Not yet.
Well, see, the thing is, the big cool point is, and to your point, 2K, I remember Marco Antonio Barrera had to change his style because he like, man, look, I can't keep getting into these wars. So he revamped his career and became a boxer. Yeah. He started moving more and everything like that. So yeah, you can change him. He's only 26. I mean, look at Carnelo. Look at how he was at first, and then look at how, you know, he's come along. So there's examples of it. But the main problem is, like 2K said, number one is it's a father-son relationship. So even if you bring in a new trainer, if that father is still somewhat in that training camp, it can still somewhat hurt the teachings because he'll always revert back to that.
Hey,
especially
Bo.
If his dad is there telling him.
Bo.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Carnelo?
I did know. Like you trying to say Carnelo?
That's
another name.
Hey, old motherfuckers fuck up name all the time. See, baby. All right.
Carnelo.
Toothpaste.
He made an excellent point, but that Carnelo shit fucked me up. Bro.
This is good.
But yeah, so like I said, man, the bottom line is going to come down to Easter probably needs to even just get the fuck out of Ohio, period, because he walked around that ring like, oh, I dominate. I'm looking at the screen like, dude, I literally turned the channel. I said, man, I'm not finna listen to this motherfucker. I turned the channel.
I said,
I can't hear that. I said, I can't hear that.
Cocky and shit, like, nigga, you went life and death with a nigga that got knocked out by Jason Sosa. Right. You can't say shit, bro.
Right. Point
I say
taken.
this. The good thing about him, though, before we go to the next topic, is that at least he's aware. A lot of motherfuckers be in denial about their shit. You know what I'm saying? At least he knows what he needs to do. Now we got to get somebody to fucking help him.
Hey, though. Hey, you know what makes that worse, though?
What's that?
That he still keeps doing it.
True. True.
What they say, knowing is half the battle, the other half is doing it. Okay, well, he got half beat. When he gonna work on that other half?
Hell yeah.
When he get knocked the fuck out.
All right, so let's switch topics, man. Let's talk about the 187 that happened over the weekend.
That drive by.
Yo, the NYPD was looking for Earl Spence Jr. hard on Saturday night after he mowed and walked all over that man, beat him down to a pulp. I mean, basically made him look ordinary, like made him look like an extra. And this is Lamont Peterson, who gave Danny Garcia life and death in hell. I don't like to compare fights because styles make fights, and I don't do triangle theories and none of that bullshit because that's for casuals.
Right.
But Bo, I'm gonna start with you, man. How you feel about that fight, man? How you saw it? Because everything I told Peterson to do, he didn't do. And y'all heard my video, and y'all heard, and Bo, you and I actually did an article on this fight, and you saw everything we said he shouldn't do. He went in there doing it. When I saw his trainer say, "Oh, it's gonna be a war," I'm like, man, you must be smoking some good crack or shit or some shit, because you should. That's the last thing you wanted to be, fam. But go ahead, Bo. Give me your take, man.
Well, first off, Earl Spence expected this to be a boxing match. Hence why he came out jabbing. He thought, oh, this Lamont gonna come out and box me. That's why instead of his normal way of stalking and all of that, he came out jabbing. And then Earl did the one thing we said that Lamont needed to do, which was be first. Earl was first in every facet. There was a point in the fight where in my opinion, it turned, and it was in the first round. Earl threw a couple jabs, then he sidestepped, and he went over Lamont's guard and hit him right on the jaw. And Lamont moved. And I said from that point on, that gave Lamont a taste of Earl's power. And I'm not going to say it made him reluctant, but it made him realize to a certain degree, okay, I probably can't implement the game plan of going hard on him like I want because of what's coming back at me. But at the same time, being in that man's wheelhouse was the total wrong idea. Now, you know, you got cats out there, because I'm not going to touch on it too much because I know you guys going to have some. Y'all probably going to say what I'm going to say. I just want to point something out. You know, what bugs me is every time, like, certain cats get certain wins, y'all motherfuckers want to act like, you know, oh, well, you know, you want to talk like Lamont Peterson came straight from 140 and fought Earl. No, Lamont had a few fights at 140. He was a fucking WBA goddamn champion, for Christ's sake.
Yes, he was.
Okay, he was the WBA 147-pound fucking champion. Okay, he dropped his belt to fight him. So, you know, this whole notion, well, Earl Spence beat on the smaller man. Dude, that smaller man was a champion in that division. So you can kill me with that. And then on top of that, okay, what the fuck is he supposed to do? The motherfuckers in that division don't want no fucking smoke. Okay, so he had to do something. So, you know, man, y'all stop that shit, because when it's y'all fighting, Lomachenko, Rigo, you know what I'm saying? When it's y'all motherfucking fighting, you know what I'm saying? When it's y'all, you know, Con and Carnello, you know, Triple G and Brooks. When it's y'all motherfucking fighters, you know what I'm saying? Y'all be like, well, he went up there to take the fight. He went up there to take the fight. Okay, it's the same fucking thing. Stop making excuses for these fucking fighters, man. If they sign that contract and get in the ring, it is what it is. But Lamont Peterson, Earl Spence showed, in my opinion, facets of his game that we had never seen. He's not just a stalker. The dude got some boxing skills. He got some movement. He can box with you if you want to box. So what Earl Spence showed me is the reason why Sean Porter was on TV like, well, the IBF don't have me in their rankings. They don't have me in their ranking. Nigga, get a haircut.
Hey, fam, I had to take somebody to school today, right? Because they were like, well, you know, Keith Thurman. I'll get to that. That's going to be my third topic, because I'm going to add a topic now.
But it was, you know what?
Wait. Let me give you this. Go ahead.
I give Lamont credit as far as this, dog. He didn't
ass whooping like a man.
Yeah, his heart showed, dog. Is because he got up off the canvas and he fought.
Yeah,
you know, he even told his corner. I agree with him. What he said to the corner, for you motherfuckers that want to say he quit, you know what? Suck my motherfucking dick. Okay, y'all want to say that man quit? He told his corner, this is exact words. Listen, I'm gonna go out here and fight. Now, if you call it, you call it.
Absolutely. He said he told him to give me some instructions. If not, shut up. Pretty much what.
That's right. And then when the bell rang and he went to walk out the corner, he looked at his coach and said, "What's up?" And when his coach didn't call it, he walked out there to fight. So y'all can suck my dick telling me this motherfucker quit. Okay?
And a couple rounds before that, he told them they were telling him to box, and he was like, "What you mean box? I'm losing every goddamn round."
Exactly.
Yeah, he said he was going to go all out. He was gonna go
right.
all out.
So you know, get off that he quit shit, man. That's not what happened.
One thing about I've been hearing circulating these groups today is one thing I've been hearing is, well, Keith Thurman is just not going to stand in there, and I'm like, okay. So I actually took a cat to school and said, okay, so show me where Brooke actually stood in there. And the motherfucker really had no comeback for me to the point where he goes like, you got that. I still love you, bro. No, it ain't about love or being wrong or right. It's about, like, explain to me what the fuck you're saying, because I don't see it. But Jarrell, let me go to you, fam. How you saw this fight, man?
Again, man, the only way Peterson was gonna win is if Spence had a bad night or he landed a lucky shot. And like Bo said, Spence showed different things in his game. He was able to move more. He was able to turn Lamont. The jab is on point. That motherfucker's jab is slowly getting better and better. You know what I'm saying? And people starting to notice it more. Hand speed is there. He was just ripping shots. I felt bad for Lamont, man, because by the third round, that motherfucker was tired. He was already hurt. And you just know that he just knew he had no chance. Even though he landed some shots. Spence is still flawed defensively. He admitted it in a post-fight interview with Jim Gray. He still squares himself up in exchanges, which can come back to bite him against a guy like Keith Thurman or somebody that can punch. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. We got to stop doing that until Keith Thurman one-time somebody again.
Exactly.
I'm not going to say he can punch.
But the potential is there. The power. I'm not saying he can do it, but I'm saying you got to give respect to the power he has.
Right.
I agree with y'all. He hasn't knocked anybody out on the elite level with him. Shit, I don't think ever, because I wouldn't consider Chavez an elite guy or Robert Guerrero. But he got that potential. You know what I'm saying? Put it like that. Got the potential to do that. But I give credit to what credit due, man. Lamont is a tough guy. I don't feel bad for any fighter in terms of the ass whooping they take, because they know what's across the ring from them when they sign up. No excuses, no discrediting Errol Spence's win. He did what he was supposed to do, was whoop the guy's ass. You know what I'm saying? And as far as Thurman,
no, we don't go into that. We got a third topic. Don't worry.
Okay.
We're gonna get into that. Hold on. I got something for what the fuck? That's a crazy guy on YouTube. He likes to scream a lot and shit. He gave him a name. It's something like
Keaton Gregory Josephine Thurman.
Miss Thurman.
Last thing I'm gonna say though, man. I just want him to continue to work on their defense, man, and tighten it up.
Yeah, he has improved though. I'll give him that much.
He has improved, but just continue to tighten it up, and he's gonna be damn near unstoppable.
You know what impressed me in the last round, which was the 7th round? He was like moving, giving angles. He looked like a big ass Loma in there for a second there.
Exactly.
I was very impressed with that part of his game, because I didn't think he had that in him, but obviously he does. You could tell Derek James got this kid working on the right path. I know that he spars a lot of rounds with a lot of middleweights and light heavyweights. He spars with light heavyweights, so I could tell you, Errol Spence too. I think it's time for people to say Errol Spence has a chin. Bernard, why don't you give us your heartbroken take on this fight, man?
Get a nigga some tissue, Bo.
Fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here. I wasn't heartbroken over that loss. All I said was, Lamont Peterson was gonna go 12 rounds. I had Spence winning that fight. Now what?
I thought you predicted. Not to cut you. I thought you predicted Peterson. You might have.
Nah. He predicted Spence to win a split decision.
Split decision. That was my prediction.
Okay.
That was my prediction.
That nigga way off.
I'm gonna stand by that. I'm gonna stand by my pick, but it went wrong. Shoot. Apparently, the game plan. I don't know what the fuck was going on, man. I'm not.
You know what happened, Bernard? I can tell you what happened.
But no, what happened was he got punched in the face, and that game plan went out the window.
Well,
that happens in fights. Go ahead.
No, it didn't, because the game plan that caused him to get repeatedly punched in the face is the game plan Barry Hunter said they were going to use before the fight.
Man, I thought that You know what? I thought he was saying that, and then they were just going to go in there and box, use some lateral movement, and stay on their toes. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, that's what I was expecting.
Kind of like Miguel Cotto fights when he's tired at the end of fights.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I expected him to do that for the entire fight. I always said that Lamont Peterson is a dog in the ring. So he's the type of guy that he's going to get on the inside and beat your will. The only problem was in this fight, he has a bigger dog. So it's like kind of like you put the poodle against the fucking Rottweiler and shit.
Yeah.
Well,
I wouldn't even go as far as that.
Go ahead, Bernard. Go ahead.
I would say that it's just experience. The person that's been in more, I would say, more wars or more battles when it gets a young, fresher dog. You know,
nah. See, I think.
Man.
No, wait. I think if they fight that fight in both of them guys in both of their primes, and I don't do fantasy fights, it's still the same outcome. Go ahead.
I'm trying to dead this.
Go ahead.
The problem here is, and Bernard, you learned a lesson, and you have broadened your boxing knowledge since I first met you, man. I'm very impressed with how you've been able to learn a lot more. You know what I'm saying?
With that compliment comes the backhand. Go ahead.
But what
you still whack, nigga.
But the lesson you learned today, or Saturday night anyway, was that you still got to call it down the middle, even though you have a favorite. You see what I'm saying? There's no way on God's green earth that Lamont Peterson, given the style that he's been portraying since 2009, was ever going to beat Errol Spence at any point, way, shape, or form, dog. And it was clear to see that.
But I never said Peterson was going to beat Earl Spence. I think.
But you said split decision. That means he had a split chance to win. That he didn't even have that. He didn't even have. Man, we gave like
12 rounds.
Yeah, a split decision win means that Peterson possibly won 6 out of 12 rounds. That's impossible.
Yeah, I mean, going into this fight, when this fight got announced, I gave Peterson a lot of credit for stepping up to the plate because we all know the issues that Spence has been having finding opponents. Hence why he fought now. He wanted a fight. He wanted another fight in 2017. He just didn't come to fruition. Now, he didn't want to turn around and fight like a Victor Ortiz or something like that right after winning the belt. He was an opponent. So, which I give him credit for that. But I give Peterson credit for taking this fight. But after this fight got announced, I gave Peterson a 0.0000001% chance of winning.
Literally.
And I stand by that.
And that's not even an exaggeration.
One thing I learned when I stepped into the gym was OG once told me, man, there's levels to this shit.
Yeah.
And usually you get to that other level by being here, meaning the gym. Lamont Peterson's a dog, but Errol Spence is just a better fighter, man.
Yeah, see, the thing about the levels.
Check this out, though. Lamont Peterson needed he had a puncher's chance, but he's not a puncher. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, everybody has a puncher's chance. You know what I'm saying?
But he's not a puncher.
But see,
that's the problem.
But see, the thing about that, what you just said, you said it best. Levels. The thing is, we've seen progression in fight. There was progression. Lamont Peterson, at his age of 30 or over 32, there's been no progression. And that in itself shows you what you're talking about, the levels, which is the reason why he had no chance of winning, in my opinion, because I didn't see no progression in this guy.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it's been seeing progression in regression because I'm going to piggyback on what 2K told me. I want to say that Friday night before the fight when he called me, he said he hasn't boxed since his loss against Timothy Bradley. He's gone into that style of being a brawler, a slugger, trying to fight in the pocket. Am I right or wrong, 2K?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he tried to box against Amir Khan and against Danny Garcia, and it didn't work for him. So he became that pressure fighter. But the other fights, he was more so look at the Matisse fight. He didn't start trying to move until he was like, God damn, till after the first knockdown. He's like, damn, this nigga powerful. Let me get the fuck out the way. But it was too late at that point. You know what I'm saying? So
let me add this, man. I gotta ask a question. 2K, you called them on Friday night?
I don't remember who called who. I let him have
So
it.
there's no
chance.
okay. So there's no chance I could get you two in the pit.
Oh, you know what? I did call him because of the article. I wanted to give him his feedback on the article he wrote for it. Yeah. And secondly, why the fuck would you want to do that to Bernard, man? That's not right.
Hey, fuck it. If he dies, man. He's still my boy.
Wow.
I'll pour a little liquor out for the homie and shit.
You trying to pick big bro against little bro?
Exactly.
Want to beat little brother because
all the time, motherfucker.
Hold up.
Vaughn Alexander said in Bo and 2K's interview, shit, somebody got to prove they their best, man. Fuck that big brother, little brother shit, man.
Hey,
wait. This nigga said somebody got to prove that they the best. I'm the only nigga with a body in this motherfucker. I'm waiting on y'all to get bodies.
Hey, wait a minute. I body more people than anybody in this motherfucker. That's why Willie the Kid exists. There's a community out in Facebook that hates me.
What you gotta understand is he bodied the nigga so bad nobody else wants to go in that pit. They don't like it there. It's uncomfortable.
That's true.
So
why was we going in the pit? That's what I want to know. Why was I about to go in the pit again?
Willie talking shit. We need you in the pit with Blake.
Yeah, that's what we want. So check this out.
That's not going to end well for
Blake. Hey, wear a helmet. Wear a helmet, Bernard. That nigga got a big ass head.
Yeah. Wait, let me get back on track here real quick. So, fellas, what do you see? What did you like? I'm gonna start with 2K, then Bernard, then Jarrell, and then back to Bo. What did you see from Errol Spence that you actually were like, damn, this kid's got the goods? I know we've all said that before, but what impressed you the most out of this fight? Coming from him, 2K.
Can I do two? Can I do what impressed me and what didn't impress me? Because I think what didn't impress is going to be the harder question to answer.
Okay.
What did impress is his ability. You know, I just said this to my boy. Shout out to my man Ace, who will probably be watching this video later. I told
him. You gave him gas money? Wait, you gave him gas money for the last time you made him drive down to your house?
Oh, yeah, that's him. Yeah. Yeah, that's him, motherfucker. I didn't give him his money yet, bro. You just reminded him.
Yeah, hey, Ace, get your money, bro. He had you go over there, watch what was that? Rigo Lomachenko versus some bum that quit. And then, whatever. Go ahead, 2K, make your point.
Oh shit, damn. But I just told my mans earlier today, man. I was like, Errol Spence, the way he's able to take a punch while still trying to mount his offense reminds me of Salvador Sanchez. I just really talked about Salvador Sanchez recently, about how it was amazing to me, about how he would be mid-combination, take a punch flush on the chin, but still continue to finish his combination as if the punch never existed. That's kind of how Errol Spence is, and that's what I've noticed about him. That's actually the most impressive behind his ring IQ. His ring IQ is very underrated. His ring IQ is underrated like Floyd Mayweather's chin was underrated. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't realize how smart Errol Spence really is and how he uses his ring IQ to systematically break cats down.
Yep.
They don't understand it. Yep. And those two things will be the most impressive. Now, what's unimpressive to me, and it kind of links to what I said was impressive the first time, the fact that he has still, at this point in his career, absolutely minimal head movement, man. I understand that you can take a punch, but I still don't want you taking those punches, right? Lamont Peterson had a straight right hand that was landing at will, and I think in round 3, if I'm not mistaken, he landed that bitch about 4 or 5 times. And I was looking at that, and I was like, come on, Spence, move your fucking head. He's timing the right hand. Now, he didn't win the round, but still, he still was able to hit him when they were in close during exchanges. You know what I'm saying? So a guy came on that I respect. He came to me earlier today, and he said, man, if Errol Spence gets hit with one of those right hands from Thurman, I'm not sure if he can take that. And he has a valid point because Thurman hits much harder than fucking Lamont Peterson.
Let me ask you this. Who, in your opinion, hits harder, Brook or Thurman?
Ooh. I think
Keith Thurman. I think Keith Thurman hits harder than Kell Brook.
Slightly, or you give the complete edge?
Yeah, I would give him. Yeah, I would give him the complete edge simply because when Keith Thurman sits on his punches, that hurts motherfuckers, right?
Right.
Kell Brook doesn't always sit down on his punches. And neither does Thurman when he's been at the elite level because he's been wanting to box cats more than actually sit there and be the boxer puncher. And rightfully so, it's worked for him. But I just think that Kell Brook doesn't – I don't think he has the proper technique, nor does he sit down properly on all of his punches. I don't think he has the power Thurman has.
All right, so let me play devil's advocate with you real quick. Fellas, give me a second. I'm picking my man's brain. Let me play devil's advocate with you real quick. Do you think that Thurman will actually sit on his punches against Errol Spence? Because I don't see it just because every time Keith Thurman gets hit to the body, even everybody brings up the Colossal fight, but I even go as early as a fight after that, which was the Sean Porter fight. Right. When Sean Porter hit him to the body, he seemed not to like that, which made him box more, move more. Yeah. So I just don't see him fighting Errol Spence and really sitting on anything. And if he does sit on anything, he's going to leave himself squared up for something.
Well, this is the thing, and this is why I have Errol Spence winning that fight. Keith Thurman will elect a box, but he's a boxer puncher at heart. So he will eventually stop moving and get in the pocket and sit down on punches. He will do that. He did it against Danny Garcia, did it against Sean Porter, did it against Diego Chavez. I mean, the list goes on and on. He did it against Leonard Bundu. He did it first against Leonard Bundu, realized by his own admission, Bundu was just too tough. So then he started to box, right? So at some point, whether it's first or it comes second, he's going to eventually become the boxer puncher again that he's known for, and he's going to stop and sit down on punches. Now, the question is, will Spence take those punches as well as he took them from Kell Brook and Lamont Peterson? Yeah, and I think he will, but some don't think he will, and it's a legitimate concern.
Hey man, it's as simple as this: one comes from Texas, the other one comes from Florida. I pick Texas to be the harder state, so I'm taking the boys from Texas. Me and you, I think 2K, we had a conversation about this after the Thurman fight, the last Thurman fight, which was like 1,000 years ago. It feels like,
right?
When we said we feel like Errol Spence will probably walk him down and take the fight in the later rounds. Mm-hmm. It's going to be like I see that fight felt exactly like Kell Brooks. I see that fight fairly close, even in the middle round, going into the middle rounds, and then one of those guys, either Thurman or Spence, taking over in the 7th and 8th round. I just see Spence doing that more than I see Thurman doing that for different reasons. I just think
Spence gonna break his ribs.
I agree with you. And of course, guys, understand, I'm speaking from a standpoint that Keith Thurman is not already psychologically beaten, right? We're talking like and he probably is, but I want to try to give you the right type of assessment from a guy that's 100% and he's ready to go, right?
Right.
So I agree with you. I think eventually he will be the guy that's breaking Keith Thurman down. The reason why I don't see it like Kell Brook is because Keith Thurman moves a lot more than Kell Brook does. I remember I talked to a guy, and he was real steadfast on Kell Brook's footwork, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? What footwork?"
I know what guy you're talking about. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was like, "What footwork?" I mean, the guy moves backwards, and he will move laterally, but he's not moving it in the way of a boxer should to elude shots or to turn his opponent. You know what I'm saying? Now, he did a good job of keeping the fight in the middle of the ring against Errol Spence, but the reason why he was broken down is because he couldn't keep up that pace for the entire fight, and that's why Spence was able to break him down. Keith Thurman can actually do that. It's just the fact that his mentality is, hey, I'm actually a boxer puncher. I'm trying to get my one-time name back. Let me stop and try to hit this motherfucker with all I got. If he doesn't do that, he actually boxes and moves around, it won't be like the Keith Thurman fight. I mean, the Kell Brook fight.
Bernard, what impressed you about Spence?
I guess him boxing. That's what impressed me the most. He didn't make it. Not saying couldn't make it a dog fight. He elected to box, whereas Lamar Peterson tried to make it a dog fight, which wasn't working for him in the end. And I'm gonna agree with 2K. It's the head movement that I'm not impressed with. The lack of head movement, excuse me, that I'm not impressed with for Earl Spence.
I will say that in this fight he moved his head more than he has in previous fights. So it's obvious something that they know that they have to work on. Derek James is not a stupid trainer, because there was times where he was moving his head, avoiding punches, and I was very impressed with that. But there was times where he was getting caught up, squared up, and getting hit. But go ahead, Bernard.
No. I'm done.
Okay. All right, Jarrell.
I was impressed with his ability to show that he can be a boxer puncher. I think he could phase into that same mode that Keith Thurman is, just a different approach. Of course, he's not as not as quick foot, quick on the feet as Thurman is, but he was patient from the outside. He let his jab, set up everything, and like you said earlier, he kind of toyed with him. So he's shown the ability to become a boxer puncher, to go along with his ability to cut off the ring and work the body, man. I just think that not to try to give him too much praise, but man, he's a terrific fighter, man. And I think he's gonna be the guy that, to become the next undisputed welterweight champion. I just don't see too many guys at 147 or any guys at 147 beating him.
Yeah, 2K put me on the spot with that one on our broadcast on Saturday night. Bo?
I think outside of Earl Spence's ring IQ being underrated, I think people also kind of underrate his defense a little bit. His opponents only land 24% of their punches on him.
Right.
So he's doing something right from that aspect, right? But now here's the one thing that I want people to understand. The reason being, if he fights Keith Thurman, even if he fights a Keith Thurman who's not mentally weak, the reason being is if they get into the later round, Earl wins because Keith Thurman have stamina issues. Keith Thurman will start gassing. And Keith Thurman is also shown in the Collazo fight. Once his punch isn't working, it's not that he loses confidence. He will quickly abandon. Like if he hits you hard one time or twice and you don't go, even in a Porter fight, okay, he will quickly abandon that game plan and try to move around. And the biggest problem you have with a guy like Earl is, and I watch Keith don't necessarily, when he tries to box and move, he don't necessarily move as graceful as you would like to see somebody like a Edizani Lauder or even Origo. Okay. It's I'm not gonna say robotic, it's just not smooth. And Earl Spence footwork when coming forward, trapping you, moving side to side. He has the ability, if Keith start backing up, to keep Keith on the ropes. And Earl, what he does, which is brilliant, is he doesn't overcommit on his punches to where he's smothering himself. He leaves himself spaces and he traps you in that corner where you can't escape from him left or right. That's something that Keith is going to have to deal with, is a guy that's coming at you, and he's coming at you in such a way that it's a well thought out process with Earl. So I was most definitely impressed with the way that he boxed. Like I said, he came out boxing, he used that jab, and he did something that Robert Easton Jr. did not do, which is his throwaway punches were the type of punches that keep another guy from throwing. 2K, and I mentioned this, and Wilson know this. If you throw punches, your coach will say, listen, throw a punch. I don't care where it lands, because if it lands on this dude elbow, if it lands on this dude motherfucking arm, or his wrist, he's not going to keep his hands up like that, because he's going to get tired of you hitting his arms, his shoulder, or his fucking wrist. He don't want them. Yeah, it's not hitting his face, but what it does is you don't want your arms to take them kind of punches, and it takes some out of you when you try to throw a punch when the dude is hitting you on your elbow and your muscle and your wrist. It takes some out of your punches. So Earl Spence throwaway punches, my man Willie brought that up, are power punches in himself. So you don't necessarily want to return, because you're like, God damn, that motherfucker hurt.
His fucking jab sounds like a power punch. The way that thug sounded, man, that shit, like, I'm like, yo. I told Bo if he could make 147 to fight him, Bo was like, I ain't fighting that motherfucker.
No, I said, look here, man, fuck that.
Hey, did y'all ever watch that that trap video that Spence made where he was punching that fat nigga in the gut?
Yep, I see it. Yeah.
Did y'all hear that damn thud, man? When he was hitting that fat ass nigga?
Yeah.
It sounded like that nigga was cooking meat on that nigga body, bro. That's what it's.
And dude was like, "Hey man, I quit." He's like, I quit.
So check this out, man.
But hold on. Let me make this quick. What I didn't like is, like you guys said, I didn't like the fact that he got a little overexcited when he got Lamar hurt and got caught with a couple counters. Definitely going to have to work on that. And I think that's like the biggest knock on him is that, man.
I think some of it is by design. Like I think at that point he felt like I could take this motherfucker's shot. Like
but that's the thing, man. Spence believes in his cheat. He knows I got to cheat.
So I don't know, man. But I'm gonna say this, man. How you guys feel about the welterweight division? Let me just make a couple points real quick. I'm looking for something here. Give me a second. I have somebody that linking that basically says Spence is like the Debo from Friday when it comes to welterweights, man. That shit, I found that comment to be hilarious, man, because that shit looked that way, man. This guy, I mean, it took him almost a whole bunch of days. So this is a quote from my man Sean Porter. So right now, Spence is not going to be my next fight. Like I said, it's Keith Thurman, and if we have to, we'll look somewhere else. I'm doing everything I can. I'm doing everything I can do to make these fights happen, Porter said. So this year we'll see Sean Porter in the ring with Keith Thurman. If not Keith Thurman, then Danny Garcia. Wait. Before I make that point, let me get on to the other clown. So the other clown went on Instagram and said, "I see you, young buck. Your time. I'm gonna see you. I see you, young buck. Be patient. It's coming." So that I took that as I see you in 2019, motherfucker, which is a mistake on his part. I feel like the quicker you take this fight, the better off you are, because this kid is learning more and more as he steps in the ring. And by the time you get to him, he's going to be a complete fighter. But that's my opinion for another topic. But how do you guys see these fucking welterweights openly ducking? 2K, me and you talked about this before, where we knew that Sean Porter was going to probably sit out the whole year if he had to. So he's a stupid motherfucker. He's a stupid motherfucker, man. Jarrell, man, how you feel about these welterweights right now, man? The way they're running from a champion. Like, this is not a challenger. This is not a contender. This is not a prospect, right? He's no longer none of that, right? He's now a champion. Usually, motherfuckers be like, yeah, I want your strap. I don't hear nobody saying they want the IBF strap anymore, dog. So go ahead, Jarrell. Hit me with something.
Bro, I'm just so disappointed in Sean Porter because this nigga is willing to sit out 8, 9, 10 months to wait for Keith Thurman. In a fight, yeah, I know he deserves a rematch. He has a way better chance of beating Thurman than he does against than beating Spence. But motherfucker, if a nigga offering you a title, I'm gonna fight the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
His father actually said that too. By the way,
it's like, man, this the fucked up shit about boxing, man. Because we're gonna end up talking about all these fights that's gonna happen with these niggas out of the prime, or one of them come off a knockout loss, and this shit ain't gonna mean the same, man. So I feel bad for Spence because he's gonna end up chasing these guys. He's gonna have to kind of do the division jump like Paul Williams did, you know what I'm saying? Until these motherfuckers, actually get the balls to fight him. But Sean Porter, he should have left that quote in his mouth, man, because that shit sounded so damn stupid. It ain't no way this man is not ranked in the top 10 by the IBF, being a former IBF champion. Although he was a few years ago, this nigga is ranked in all four, sanctioning bodies, man. Danny Garcia don't want no smoke. Sean Porter don't want no smoke. Keith Thurman don't want no smoke. I doubt Terrence Crawford gonna want some smoke. So this nigga might as well fight, Victor Ortiz, Devin Alexander, Andre Berto, because that's the only thing he's going to be able to get, man.
Well, he's going to fight the winner of Ortiz Alexander. I'm letting you guys know that right off the bat.
He might as well fight both of them niggas the same. He might as well
fight them both the same night if they want.
Make it a triple threat match, man. So he go, fuck this shit.
Tag that motherfucker in. He's still going to get whooped. But no, man. How you feel about these welterweights, man? The way everything's playing out, man.
I mean,
It seems like, wait, before you go on to that, it seems like Keith Thurman is doing the same thing he was bitching about 5 years ago.
Now that part I agree. I kind of feel like he got into once he got that belt, let alone once he got in that belt, he got in that pre-Madonna mode. Maybe a little bit before that, when Thurman was calling out Mayweather, and Mayweather told him you could fight for the WBA belt against Earl Spence, and he's like, "Yo, put $10 million on, I'll do it." You know, I kind of feel like he got to this. That was probably the beginning of the pre-Madonna stage. Now for Sean Porter. I feel this one, and I'm gonna disagree with Big Cool on this. I feel that was a close fight with Thurman, and I think with that fight with him and Thurman, that's for 2 belts. So he's willing to take that chance and wait and train, and hopefully thinking that because that fight was close, it was like a unanimous decision, 115, 113. He thinks in this second fight he probably could take it, and, get those belts. And it's 2 belts, 2 over 1. I gotta wait a year.
Here's where I'm gonna disagree with you. Go ahead, finish, and I'm gonna tell you where I disagree.
That's cool.
Finish your point. All right, check this out. This is where I'm gonna disagree with you. As a fighter, you never say quotes like that. You got to have the proper fighter's mentality. If you're gonna say something like that,
I'm not talking about the quotes. I'm thinking from the point of I fought 2 title eliminators. I beat Berto. Then who was the second person he beat up?
Right.
Granados. I broke my hand in that fight as well. Now I won. Now I want Thurman.
Right.
He lost to Thurman, and he feels like right now, hey, I feel like I won that fight. Okay. So that's the guy I want to beat him. Now he got a second belt too.
Okay, wait. Let me play devil's advocate though. You got to wait for Thurman to the end of the year. Thurman gonna fight in April, and he gonna fight again towards the end of the year. Because, like I've been telling you guys, he's gonna stretch this year out, so he doesn't have to fight Earl. Okay, so people don't put pressure on him about that shit. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate. So you're telling me that you'd rather wait for a champion when another champion is actually offering you a title shot. So what's the difference?
Exactly. 2 belts, 1 belt.
I just said 2. I just said 2. If you had the opportunity to become a unified champion instead of just a single belt as the IBF champion, why not take that one? That's the one, and you already been in the ring with that opponent. You know what you're dealing with.
You got to wait 9-10 months to get it. When you could get one.
I lost to that. I lost to. I'm being shocked.
And he did lose.
I lost to Keith Thurman. I want my get back. What's better way than to get him? Hold on.
That's nice, but you bet on yourself. You bet on yourself, and you bring your own motherfucking belt to the table. Like, okay, I want some more money too. While I'm at it.
Either way, man, look at it, Bernard. The way I'm looking at it.
Hold on.
All roads lead to Keith Thurman and Errol Spence. He either fight Errol Spence, beat him, he gonna face Keith Thurman. He either fight Keith Thurman, beat him, he gonna have to face Spence. So while you got a fucking healthy, available, willing champion to fight you, why not take your chances with Errol Spence? You never know. Styles make fights. Anybody can lose on any given Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like Sean Porter has a way better chance than Lamar Peterson.
2K?
No, hold on. I didn't even finish my point, but here's my thing though, right? Y'all saying that, and then he goes and fights. Say he fights Spence. Let's be honest. Gets rid of Porter or gets him out of there, and what's the point? So now I can see if Porter feels like I lost, why risk that chance of me getting 2 belts when I can sit back and go for 1? Necessarily, I'm just saying, go for that 1, then lose, and then
I'm
you
just
lose
saying,
a chance to fight.
I'm just saying you could get a title shot in 10 months, or you could get a title shot in 3 months. I'm taking 3 months.
Exactly. That way, I ain't got time to be waiting on another man to get.
You can't wait. You can't wait on a man. 2K, man.
Hold on, but can't he pick up another fight though? That's the question. In the meantime,
he will pick up another fight, but it doesn't mean anything to me because you told me flat out that you were going to sit out a whole fucking year to wait on a man. So, I mean, to me, that's some
because I worked hard because I beat 2 guys to get to that man. That man happened to decide for some reason.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Because you know what? We going too far deep into this. Here's what it boiled down to. Okay, if Sean Porter felt he could beat Earl Spence, he'd fucking fight him.
Exactly.
End all to end all right there. Whether or not you talking about one belt, two belt, because at the end of the day, here's the problem that we're talking about, right? If he felt he could beat Spence, he'd fight him, take that belt. Now Keith got to see me, and I get 3 belts instead of me looking at 2 fucking belts. I can beat this dude. I'll be fighting for 3 belts, right? Because if the difference is you're talking about a belt, okay, what's a win over a dude right now? The train that Earl Spence is on, a win over Spence is almost equivalent to winning 2 fucking belts. You beat the boogeyman.
And you ain't got to fuck with him no more, really.
Wait, hold up, everybody. Wait, hold up. I'm about to mute all y'all motherfuckers. Hold on a second. I want my little big bro's take on this shit, because I know he's saying back there quietly saying in his head, are you fucking kidding me? Go ahead.
Get the fuck out of here.
You know, I know why Porter's saying that. There's 2 reasons. Number 1, he knows Spence will wax that motherfucking ass. That's number 1. And number 2 is because he's not ranked in the top 10 by any organization but the WBC, where he's ranked number 1. You know what I'm saying? And Keith Thurman has that WBC belt. Thus, he's actually trying to uphold his mandatory position. That's why he's saying that. He understands that if he goes and gets his ass waxed because of the first reason I said, then he's going to lose that mandatory spot. That's his position. Now, as a fan, I don't give a fuck about mandatory spots, nigga. This motherfucker got a belt. If the IBF says, hey, we'll sanction it as a title fight, even though you're not ranked in our top 10, then go get it. You know what I'm saying? From a business standpoint, I understand what he's saying.
Yeah,
but
I do too. The
problem is, this is a prize fighting sport, right? You only get paid when you perform. If you gonna sit the fuck out a whole year waiting on another nigga to give you a shot, well then that's money you leaving on the table, you dumb nigga. You know what I'm saying? So unless you are sitting on Floyd Mayweather type of money, right? Because I know your dad takes all your paychecks. He told us right in front of your face.
Put it in your savings account.
And he takes your hoes. You know what I'm saying? So since we know this, then you need to get your ass in the ring, dog. Plain and simple.
So I gotta ask you a question. What do you think of that quote from a fighter's mentality?
Oh, it's
standpoint. Give me vintage 2K here, man.
You already know what it is, man. It's really 5 words.
Say it, man. Go say it, man.
Come on, man. Just say it. One time. Just say it for us one time, man. Say it.
Get the fuck out of here.
So I'm gonna ask you guys this, man.
Wait a minute.
We have what most people call the number 1 welterweight in the world. I think that perception has started to change since this weekend happened. Using quotes like "I'm at peace with myself," "He's hungrier than me," "I'm gonna fight him, but he just gotta wait. Not right now. Now it's not the time. I got this to do. I gotta go cut my nails. I'm coming back from this injury, even though I'm slapboxing in the middle of the street with some motherfuckers y'all don't know. I got married. I'm happy.
Get some pussy.
This motherfucker, like, overnight he turned into like a monk or some shit. Bo, when you start hearing the fighter talk like that, how you feel, fam?
Okay, let me help y'all out by saying this. I'm gonna be as quick as possible on this one point. I'm gonna come back because I didn't get to say this. I see that IBF situation you're talking about, but the WBC, we be crooks. I'm quite sure there's some kind of way that he could fight Spence and keep that mandatory motherfucking slot.
WBC been known to do some bullshit.
You did it 2 years for Chickenson, so goddamn it, you can do it one time for motherfucking
Showtime.
all right? So I'm gonna leave it at that. But I do get that business side. Here's the thing, man. Some fighters, they come out into boxing with a business mind, right? So when you see them with that business mind, you're like, all right, I see what you're doing. You're having that business mind. You have that business approach to things, right? UK fighters don't like hearing this. You know, the fighter you always talk about, Joe Calzaghe, had that approach. Okay, same, and we're starting to see it now with Anthony Joshua, starting to have that approach. But when you start out barking and woofing and calling out Floyd, telling them motherfuckers at press conference not to duck me, telling motherfuckers I got an O, I ain't scared to let it go. This the third daddy boy ass I done beat, jumping in rings on motherfuckers, talking about something I ain't no cherry. When you start talking like that, right? Because you knocking motherfuckers out. You know what I'm saying? You got cats like calling you one time, pumping your head. You got cats letting you know, dog, you know what, man? You're gonna take over when it's done, right? And then all of a sudden, here come this motherfucking F5 fucking hurricane, leaving destruction in its wake, headed towards your ass. It says some things.
I got a question from somebody here, Eric R. What's going on, Eric, man? You're always watching all of our shit, man. We appreciate you, man.
Absolutely, that's my guy right there.
I got a question. He wants to know, would Thurman have beaten the Madonna that after the Broner fight?
No, I already answered that question.
I know, I saw that. Oh, no. I wanted to shout him out on the air.
You know what? That would have been a fight I would have loved to have seen. But yeah, Thurman would have beat my Donna.
Yeah, I agree.
Thurman would have beaten, because the one thing Thurman can do is box. That's my Donna's Achilles heel.
I also have a listener saying that Keith Thurman's last 2 fights are better wins than anything on Errol Spence's resume.
I hope that's a lie.
Fam, Kell Brook is a fucking top welterweight at the time he beat him. So where the fuck you coming from with this bullshit, man?
You know probably got to keep sticking in his mouth while he type this shit.
Man, hold on. Here's the thing, and he said Vargas is as good as Peterson. All right, well, you know what? To each his own, man. To each his own. You know what, dog? To each his own, because like you said, Kell Brook was a top motherfucking welterweight. His only loss came when he went to 160. All right, so and then fucking Sean Porter had lost to Kell goddamn Brook, and Keith Thurman had no problem fighting him.
Yeah, Sean Porter. Wait, he say Brook was coming off a loss. But Sean Porter lost to fucking Kell Brook.
There's a lot of fighters in history coming off of losses and shit. Man,
now he's saying Peterson is a natural welterweight.
Neither was Danny Garcia.
Neither is Danny Garcia.
Stop making fucking excuses, man.
Neither was Danny Garcia. Was Danny Garcia natural 147?
That's a fanboy.
That stop this motherfucker from fighting.
Anyway,
back to what I was saying, man. Hold on, man. Back to what I was saying. Back to what's important. All right, so when you see that type of destruction coming, dog, it makes you reassess things. Okay. And the problem is you can reassess, but you have to reassess and maintain your hunger. Keith Thurman is reassessing, and in his mind, he's reassessing in, I might get my ass whooped, because he realizes, here's the thing, and we say this, when you're knocking dudes out left and right, C-level fighters, right? And you move up, but when you see a dude that's giving more destruction in his weight than you look and you be like, this motherfucker's kicking ass way better than me. He fought Leonard Bundu that I fought and left this motherfucker lifeless on the canvas.
I was on ACL.
Algeria that got knocked down 6 times and left this motherfucker lifeless on the canvas. Okay, when you start seeing that kind of shit, you dude, it makes you think, and then you look at the type of body puncher he is, and Keith, and when your Achilles heel is something like that, again, it makes you reassess. So
I'm gonna ask you a question: does Errol Spence go 12 rounds with Danny Garcia?
No, he beat the fuck out of Danny. He mauled that motherfucker.
Jarrell, while you're at it, man, what's your take on the way Keith Thurman has been speaking as of late, man?
I'm with it. I'm with Bo. I'm with 2K. I'm with you. This motherfucker's pussy. This nigga started wearing Versace. He started wearing good clothing and shit. Got some pussy.
Hey, man. Hey, man, I want to go on record saying, like, we're not trying to knock Keith Thurman. I don't want to try to take this shit the wrong way. We are all fans of the sport, first and foremost, before we are fans of the fighter. We are guys that actually have talked very nicely and well of Keith Thurman and his abilities. I mean, shit, me and 2K went on after the Danny Garcia fight, and we slayed that breakdown, and we called it how we saw it. But when we see bullshit, we got to call bullshit too, whether we like the guy or not. So
look, man, look, we ain't got to apologize for what, because they know we not bashing nobody just to be bashing them. The motherfucker acting like a bitch. This nigga tweeted out, "I see you, young buck. Be patient. Your time is coming."
Yeah.
Hashtag one time, nigga. Your time is coming. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying?
that's not the response. You go, hold on, man. Well, stop. See, this what cats got to understand. And I sent 2K an article, and we working on it. It's called the fighter's mentality. When a motherfucker has changed your name, he publicly said sometime, and your response is, "I see you, man. You know, be patient." Yo, what the fuck? That's your response to a motherfucker pretty much letting you know you a bitch? That's your response?
Hey, let me
bro. That's
let me
him. He took over. I'm gonna let you go real quick, 2K.
go ahead, 2K.
He got just like Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia had a couple tough fights, won them, and that nigga, you know, got comfortable and got reluctant, and that's the same thing Keith Thurman is doing.
You know what it is, man? To me, these guys are doing. They're acting like Floyd Mayweather without being Floyd Mayweather. They don't understand what the gauntlet of opponents Floyd Mayweather fought to put himself in the position that he was in. Go ahead, 2K.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. This is a thing that a lot of people don't understand, and I'm reading his comments as they come in. We're not saying Keith Thurman needs to take this fight next, nor are we saying he should be taking it in the summer of this year. We understand Jesse Vargas is a good matchup for him on a comeback after elbow surgery. I actually said that on my channel. And this particular commenter, he actually listens to the videos on my channel. So we're not saying that that's not the case. What we're saying is he's already relegated the fight to only happening in 2019 or later. That's the fucking problem. Okay, it's January 2018. Actually, when he said it, it wasn't even fucking 2018 yet. It was December of 2017. So he just completely skipped a whole fucking year, right? Because he just doesn't want to fight him. Now, there's no problem with him fighting Jesse Vargas. Have no problem with that. Hell, there's no problem with him fighting fucking Rod Salka in August. I don't give a shit. All I care about is in December, right? If he looks good against Jesse Vargas, and if he looks good against Rod Salka or fucking Tom Cruise or motherfucking 50 Cent, whoever he decides to fight. Hold on.
Wait. Can you throw Goose from Top Gun in there? Go ahead.
Hold on. Whoever he decides to fight in August, if he looks good, it doesn't matter. As long as he takes Errol Spence in December after looking good, we won't have any problems. That's a whole fucking 11 months from now. There's no excuses, dog.
Can I tell you how the schedule's going to play out? Number one, this is why I'm angry at Keith Thurman. No, I'll let you make your point after I make this one. Number one, he could have came back earlier from the surgery and fought Vargas. The Vargas fight is actually a good fight. I actually like that fight. I said it on this channel when it was made. I had 2K and Bo on, and we all agreed that whether it was this channel or your channel, Bo, one of those two. I be on so many places I forget, man. But that's a good fight. Number two, I said that he's gonna take this fight in April, which is the thing I hate. I feel like this could be a February fight. So he's gonna drag it out April, and then he's gonna turn around and fight Sean Porter in either October, November, or December. That's 2 fights in 1 year. After you just had a year where you only fought once.
Oh shit.
I mean, we're getting to the point where we can't sit here and make excuses for guys. These guys are young. They should be fighting 3 to 4 times a year, to be honest with you. But I understand the business side of it. Nobody wants to take a risk and whatnot. But at the end of the day, Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman is the best matchup at welterweight. So why shouldn't we as fans try to push for that? Bernard?
Okay, I think if anything, Thurman has only fought once a year in 2017 and once a year in 2016.
Right.
You can't keep going. You do need to pick it up. I do agree. He should have had. He said he's gonna be back by the end of the year. If he wasn't back by the end of the year, he should have been. If not,
he could have been the main event on this card that just happened.
That's what I was gonna say. On this card, Saturday, or if not, he should be on the main event on the Danny Garcia Rio song card. You know what I'm saying? Then from there, you go. Hey, Vargas, take care of your mandatory, your WBC mandatory in Porter.
Right. In the summer.
Get rid of him. As long as the WBA, I'm going by the business side, don't call on Audible and say, hey, yo, you got to fight your mandatory. We should be good then. But then again, you're the super champion, so you don't have no mandatory. So that anything else leaves you to fight Earl Spence at the end of the year of 2018, if not the beginning of 2019. No excuses.
Yeah.
So I
don't understand. Like I said, he's in his prima donna stage where I think maybe he's trying to wait till Earl Spence gets this bigger name.
Well, the guy
acting like he a cash cow, man. He acting like as if he's a cash cow.
Well, this is the thing. There's two things. Number one, he's already admitted that he's no longer as hungry as he used to be on national television. That's number one.
Yeah, I remember how Wilder looked at him
in front of the dog.
Right. He already admitted it. Number two, okay, he's doing exactly what he admonished Floyd Mayweather and Paulie Malignaggi for doing back to him, to Errol Spence. The only problem is this is worse because when Floyd Mayweather was doing it to Keith Thurman and when Paulie Malignaggi was doing it to Keith Thurman, he didn't hold a fucking belt, okay? And actually when Floyd Mayweather tried to make these two fight back when he was retiring after the Berto match, right? His biggest thing was, he hasn't fought anybody. Let him become somebody, then I'll fight him. Well, now this motherfucker not only has the IBF belt, right, and he beat a guy who was undefeated at 147, right, but he also just defended his title, and you're still not trying to fight him. So what the fuck is the problem now? There's only one thing left.
Jarrell?
He's scared, man. I ain't trying to be the dead horse, man. It is what it is. We'll see the fight whenever he's ready for it to happen. Other than that, we just got to keep it moving.
So I'm going to ask you guys the last question before we close this shit out.
Oh, wait a minute, man. Let me say something real quick.
Go ahead, bro. Make your point, baby.
What people got to understand is, listen,
sound like DMX.
No, because I want people to understand something. You know, Keith ain't had no problem fighting back-to-back Sean Porter and Danny Garcia. He had no problem with that. He had no problems with that.
That was like a year apart, though. Almost a year apart.
It's still, he had no problems doing it, though. My point is, he had no problems taking tough fight back-to-back. Why? Because he knew he could win them fights. But the thing is, though, here's the thing I want people to understand. We're not saying something bad about him. We're talking about what he's saying out of his own mouth, which is disconcerting considering the fact this is a dude that never talked like that and got on cats for talking like that.
Exactly.
That's what y'all got to understand.
And this nigga holds 2 belts, bro. So he
right. You can't tell cats don't duck me. Right. You can't say don't duck me. You can't say I want Floyd. You can't say, well, the only people Floyd should be fighting is me and this dude. You can't say, like I said again, I'm this third daddy boy ass I didn't beat. Oh no, I'm the man of the division. You can't say that, then get in front of a dude or tell a dude, well, you need to get a belt first. And he does all these things. You tell him, then your only response to him is, well, I'm just not as hungry as him. Oh, you know what? Wait, your time is gonna come. You can't say that. And when you say that, we're gonna clown you because that's not who you was previously.
Yeah.
Agree, Bo. And I want to piggyback. I remember when me, you, and Willie was on the show, and I said that he could be playing mind games as well, too, doing this little bullshit. You know, little shit to try to throw Spence off, to throw Spence off. Now, do I agree with it? No.
I don't think that's mind games.
That nigga scared, man.
Hey, but here's the thing, though. When you say that in front of the dog, not only do you say it in front of the dog, you say it in front of the world. So other people in the welterweight division, like Jesse Vargas, who just now is over under the PBC banner, he's a former champion at welterweight. He wants the belt. So, hey, these guys are hungry too. So you gotta look out for them. So they definitely gonna be coming at your head.
And don't sleep on Vargas either.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's gonna win that fight, but I gave Keith Thurman a lot of credit for taking that fight, coming from layoff he's coming from.
Well, actually, you know what? To be honest, when I heard he took that fight, I was like, well, shit, I really got no problems for him because that's a good comeback fight.
Yes, it is.
And I said that. I said, I got no problem for it. That's a hell of a good comeback fight. It's better than Deontay Wilder fight some fucking Gerald Washington.
So, Bo, now that I got you here, realistically, both of these guys go on to have outstanding 2018 years. They all win their fights. And I'm talking Spence and I'm talking Thurman. I think Spence is going to have an easier role winning fights this year because Spence, there's not many guys willing to face him. The Bandu fight, I don't know if you remember this, 2K. The guys that were lined up didn't want to fight him, so the IBF went down the rankings until they got to Bandu, and Bandu was like, "Yeah, I'll fight him." Yeah. You know what I mean? So there's a guy that pulled out of the negotiation to become a mandatory.
Ponomarev.
Konstantin Ponomarev. Yep.
Right. To become the mandatory because I don't want no parts of that. So I think Spence has an easier road to Thurman than Thurman has an easy to Spence. But realistically speaking, Bo, when do you see this fight happening then?
Honestly, man, considering how Keith fights, also considering how Keith is going to fight guys that the WBC has not mandated him to fight yet. And I want to put exclamation point on that so y'all can hear me. I haven't seen no article in Three Kings where there was a mandatory for that WBC title.
That's because wait. That's because we weren't made yet. But Sean Porter is the Mando.
Okay, so Sean Porter is the Mando. I thought he was the number one contender.
Nah,
he's the Mando.
He's the Mando. Okay. He wanted to.
But I heard Brandon Rios. I thought I read an article. Brandon Rios or the Brandon Rios, Danny Garcia. Was fighting. I don't know. Fighting for the
I have no desire to even.
But I don't. I really, to be honest with you, man, I don't, because there is no 1 and 2 for that at the IBF, right? So this fight could happen in 20. I see the fight happen in 2019 because I see Keith only fighting twice. He'll probably fight Vargas. Then he'll probably fight Porter, and that'll probably be it. So I only see him fighting twice. Earl wants to fight 3 times, but it's hard for me to see how that's going to happen because as I'm going down the list, there's only a couple guys that I see that's willing to take this fight.
Well, he actually tweeted after the fight on Saturday night, fight day coming soon. So my guess is they're already working on something. Jarrell, realistically, when do you see this fight?
Man, it's hard to say because Keith Thurman kind of injury prone as of late too, so you got to take that in consideration. I say 2019, man. I don't know.
I had somebody tell me he faked that shoulder. That elbow.
Jacking off, man. We said in the book too. He jacking off, man, and he got some acidic semen, man.
Yo,
that's 2K. That's 2K right there. 2K.
Hey, Bernard.
That shit.
Bernard, realistically, when you think that fight happens?
2020 in the 154-pound division.
Oh shit! I can't even disagree. I can't even disagree with your ass on that one. Go ahead, 2K. Tell me, man.
I don't know, man, but this is what I want to address.
Go ahead.
You know, a lot of people like to say that fighters aren't scared of anybody, man. And as a former fighter myself, I've seen fighters be scared of other fighters. Okay. A lot of the times, man, every boxer that's out there is afraid of something. If you have a good trainer, your trainer tells you to channel that fear
supposed to have fear.
Into the ring and use it as a positive, right? But here's the thing. Not only that, if you can't experience it from that standpoint, then you can just look at boxing history, man, and notice that some of the best fighters ever were afraid of other fighters. The first fight that comes to mind is Sugar Ray Leonard versus Roberto Duran. Sugar Ray Leonard came out and admitted that he was afraid of Roberto Duran. Hence, that's really, in my opinion, the reason why he lost the first fight. Okay? You've got Charlie Burley. Jake LaMotta, even though he fought Sugar Ray Robinson, he sidestepped Charlie Burley. So did Rocky Graziano. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why the whole Black Murderers Row fucking existed, because the top fighters at middleweight in that time were afraid of those guys. You see what I'm saying? So throughout boxing history, fighters have been scared of other fighters, and fighters have ducked other fighters due to the fear that they had. So this is nothing new. There's nothing wrong, and it's not inconceivable to believe that Keith Thurman is actually afraid of Errol Spence. He's showing it right the fuck now. So just call it what it is. Damn.
What do you think happens that fans have such an issue with this? Because I'm old school, man. I'm 39 years old, so I'm not used to this whole social media bullshit. Like when I'm young compared to both, but when fighters back in the day used to do shit like this, like, you know, the people around me be like, whoa, this motherfucker on some bullshit. Like, what the fuck's going on with him? Blah, blah, blah. Now it seems like there's people out there that actually excuse this kind of behavior. Like, it's okay. They even discuss fighters' purses. This is something I never discussed in my whole entire life, because guess what? None of that money is going into my pockets.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. And it's, you know, I don't know, man. Like, you know, I think a lot of guys, they're fans of fighters. And that's the thing with us. We're not fans of fighters. There's guys that we support, but as far as being a fan, we're not necessarily fans of fighters, because it keeps us from being optimistic and calling shit down the middle. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the whole fanboyism allows people to not understand that fighters can be afraid of other fighters, because they're like, no, not my fighter, not the guy that I like. He's Superman. He's not afraid of nobody.
Sound like a bitch when you say that shit.
Exactly. And then it also turns into the inexperience of actually being involved in boxing as an actual fighter. They don't know, you know what I'm saying, that these guys actually have fear instilled into them. They don't understand that shit, man.
Anybody else want to add to that?
Yeah, man. I want to add to it and say this right here. See, the reason why back in the day there was a different talk amongst boxing fans, outside of the fact you didn't have social media, right? So there's a lot of things about fighters' inside lives and all of that, and their ability to reach a lot of people, your ability to, like, social media has given anybody with the voice to think that, you know, I'm an expert, and then look at the countless number of people we see get press passes that don't know shit about the sport, right? Or get access to the fighter that don't know shit about the sport. So I'm not saying that it's bad, but I'm saying that the access now is different than what it was back then. But if you look at how it was back then, the commentators, the commercial, there was an effort to teach you the sport of boxing. Now, I say this all the time, boxing has become so commercial because it sells you the knockout, and they make you think if it's not a knockout, or if this guy don't produce knockouts, then this is not a good fight. This is not a worthy fight. This is not an exciting fight.
Oh, I'll add to that. Or if he's a defensive fighter, then they'll call him boring.
Right. So
they don't understand what's going on.
Right. But if you listen to how commentators talk back then, Howard Cosell, DeMarv Alberts, they taught, even Al Bernstein, he does it now. Dr. Freddie Pachenko, they taught you the fight before it happened, so you knew what you was getting from both fighters going into the fight. You don't have that anymore in boxing.
Yeah, I would add that Paulie Malignaggi is the closest to that right now.
Yeah, Paulie up there, he damn good comes.
Right, yeah. And then of course you have the biased media.
Yeah,
like of course you have the biased media. They'll tell you how a fight is a boring fight, and then you watch it, and it's the best shit you didn't see. So
yeah. What I noticed is, like, for example, Showtime. I love their commentating, but a lot of times I catch the overseas commentating just because when you have, like, if you catch a UK on Box Nation and you have two American guys, they're going to be as unbiased as possible calling that fight. Now, I don't like watching them necessarily when it's a UK fighter because it's too biased. A lot of times, I'll be honest with you guys, I used to watch fights on mute. Because I had no real desire to hear what the hell they were saying, because I used to hear Jim Blamley, big right hand by Pacquiao, and you'd be like, boy, that shit missed by about 6 inches. What the fuck are you talking about?
Right. Or my favorite one, you pulling dudes that wrote about a totally different fucking sport. Now they're writing about boxing. Who did that?
Yeah.
Who's doing that right now, y'all?
I break it down, man. ESPN hired Dan Raphael, who used to be a Formula One correspondent, to do this shit that he does now. I'm not even gonna give that guy any airtime or anything. I already wasted enough by just mentioning his name. But it is what it is, man. So it's been a great debate, fellas. I love it when I have you guys on. I mean, this has been wonderful. We're gonna start with Bernard. Why don't you tell the people where they can find you, fam?
Hey, we start from the wackest to the greatest.
Wow, wow. Okay, let 2K start first.
Well, that's my see, you call him little bro, right? That's my big little my little big bro, right? But we actually kind of like brothers and shit.
Word.
You know, you and him are kind of like brothers, but it'll be like more like a bully versus Bernard mentality and shit. So, how about you just go first?
Oh, nigga, stupid as fuck.
Yeah, we love fucking with Bernard, man. We love you, bro.
I love y'all
No
too,
doubt.
man.
No homo, by the way. I gotta make sure I say that with y'all motherfuckers around.
It's a brotherly.
No, I know what it
It's
is,
a
bro.
brotherly love, man. Anybody
No. This ain't. Yeah, this ain't Samuel's search engine here, y'all.
Oh shit!
Don't swipe right.
Oh man, y'all crazy.
Oh, you can find me at the Movement BP on Instagram, the Movement Boxing on Twitter, the Movement Facebook group, as well as Eastwick.
No. Wait. You can find him on the Eastwick group, the Movement Facebook group. Don't go there yet. I'm gonna throw an idea when we close the show out. But go ahead, Bernard.
Hey, hold on, man.
How they gonna find you somewhere where you never at?
I'm there too. I'm in the group. We all in the group.
Oh shit, man.
So we in the group. So we in a
nigga,
whole bunch of boxing groups on Facebook.
Nigga, Jarrell. My man, Big Cool, man. Come on, man. Shut the fuck up. Come on.
But no, you can find me on here, Eastwick Boxing. You can find me on Truth and Facts About Boxing. I got some heat coming up to Three Kings, a series. So look out for that.
All right. The next person I'm gonna let him know where you can find him is it's his first time on my channel. It's a kid. I could say kid because I'm a little older than he is. That I respect a lot. He went through something that I don't really wish on any of my friends. I admire him for the way he handled that situation. So today I'm doing this show in the honor and the memory of his mother. I just want y'all to know that. He's like a brother to me, man. Anytime he needs something or whatever, he reaches out to me. Every time he feels like I'm not doing this, let me hit up Will, let him know what's going on. And I appreciate that about him because he always keeps me in the loop, even when he doesn't have to. Jarrell, fam, thank you for coming on, man. Where can they find you?
I appreciate that, fellas. Colossal Boxing Talk, Prodigy Boxing Talk, Truth and Facts About Boxing, Eastwick Boxing UK. Everywhere, man. Y'all my brothers. I love y'all guys, man. Y'all held me down. Still holding me down through this tough time. But like I said, boxing is therapeutic. I'm learning from you cats, man. And I appreciate y'all being real and checking in on you, boy. You know, so I'm in. That's where y'all can catch me
at. My man. Well, my brother. Not only are you a co-host over here on my channel, man, but I seem to be a co-host on your channel. So yeah, I'm stirring up the pot now. Where can we find you, fam? I know your old ass be everywhere, bro.
Hey man, look here. I'm everywhere where the movement is. Don't get it twisted.
That's right.
Don't get it twisted. I'm everywhere with them. And if I'm here somewhere before the movement, I'm shouting out the motherfucking movement. All right. Company, I'm not a Tim Sadley company man. I'm a movement company man. It's a big motherfucking difference. So you can find me Truth and Facts About Boxing right here. Also, you can find me on Instagram, same thing, Truth_FactBox1. Same thing with Twitter. Man, all of these do stuff,
Facebook
you know.
Page,
that's right, Truth and Facts About Boxing Facebook page, where I post all of our shit on there, not just my shit, all of our shit that pertains to movement, article, videos, things like that. Man, you can find me on Prodigy Boxing, Colossal Boxing. You know, you can find me in the rooms, Eastwick Room, Eastwick Boxing UK podcast. So, man, wherever the movement, THE movement is,
you ignorant niggas out there.
Yeah, right. That's where you can find me. And I'm gonna say this because I love saying this part here. if we used to talk in the chat and you just see that black thing there and you go to answer it and there's nothing underneath that, your ass probably ain't in there no more. And if you want some smoke, there's a thing we got called the motherfucking pit. That's all. It is what it is, man.
Word up. Well, I'm Willie the Kid, man. It's really been an honor, man, to be here with you guys. I don't really necessarily have to do this channel. It's something that I decided to do because we asked of you fellas to do something for us. So it's only right that we lead by example. Right. You know what I'm saying? So 2K, before I say goodbye, shit, why don't you tell him, Mr. Prodigy, Mr. AKA motherfucker that people can't stand, AKA the motherfucker that people hate, AKA motherfuckers that people gonna listen to. Go ahead, man.
AKA nigga from Texas with a New York hat on.
From born by way of Germany, man. Don't forget that shit.
Oh, nah, we ain't too much info.
Too much info, motherfucker.
Hey, little bro.
Yeah, exactly. Got to spank that nigga later on today, man. My belt waiting on you, motherfucker. Yeah, I appreciate all you guys, man. Straight up, really not that much to say, man. These guys are out here. They're trying to get things done. We've got a lot of supporters. The movement has really only been 2 months old now, along with 3kingsboxing.com. Everything's going the way that it should, and it wouldn't be even started if it wasn't for these guys bringing these opportunities to light. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate all you fellas, everybody out there listening. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody who was in the chat earlier. Yeah. Just keep it boxing, man. That's all we do. Hey, we may disagree. We may clown folks. That's just how we do, man. It's no different than going to the hood. You see niggas sitting on the stoop and they clowning motherfuckers that are walking on the sidewalk, man. This is the same shit here. But at the end of the day, it's exactly. It's all love. It's really all respect, man. So
that's personal.
Yeah, it's nothing personal. If you want to talk boxing, shit, we clown motherfucking. I've clowned cats, fighters and shit that I give interviews to.
Shit, we clown, man. Yeah, we clown each other.
Exactly, right, man. So if the damn fighters aren't taking it personal, then the fans shouldn't be taking it personal.
Yo, who is this cat? Who is this cat? Well, I'm so coach. Oh, well, you need to reassess.
Oh, yeah. You're right about that. We're gonna say who that was, but you're right about that. Exactly. So yeah, if the entities in the sport in which we actually watch are not taking it personal, then the fans shouldn't either, right? So yeah. But anyway, I still appreciate everybody. This is the movement, and stay tuned, man.
That's right. Yo, I'm Woody the Kid, man. This is Eastwick Boxing Talk. You can find me on 3kingsboxing.com. I'm doing big things in there with my partners. You can also find me Truth and Facts About Boxing with my man Bo. You find me on Eastwick Boxing UK, actually. I'm on there quite a bit. You're probably going to see me on Colossal Boxing Talk sometime in the near future. Soon. Prodigy of Boxing, him and this motherfucker we haven't really gotten together in a while. But every time we do, we make magic happen, that's for sure. Absolutely. So you're probably going to catch me on there pretty soon. We got the 3 Kings Boxing on YouTube. I can't forget to shout out my man Chris Bone Henderson. We got the Block Talk Radio, Four Corners Boxing Talk on there. I'm a co-host for him. We coming, fellas. We appreciate all you guys to listen. Whether I agree with your take or disagree with your take, never take it personal, man. It's all love. At the end of the day, I want to hear your opinion, whether you like mine or not. You know what I mean? I appreciate yours. How about that? Right. So, y'all, you know what I mean? I'm not going to close the show out saying bye-bye. I don't do shit like that.
Shout out to Aaron Fish Chip.
Shout out to Eastwick, UK.
Right. I will close the show out by saying 3 of the 4 guys on here I respect. You know what I mean? But fuck that motherfucking Bo Bland.
I thought he might.